Welcome to 2024 Election Night in America, a year and an entire evening in which a lot is at stake. Not only is the presidency up for grabs tonight, but tonight we are also going to be focusing in on several gubernatorial elections, 11 in total, as well as a number of Senate elections. 1/3 of the chamber's members are up for election tonight. So, without further ado, let's get started. It is now 6 p.m. and we have our poll closing out of Indiana. And in Indiana, Jim Banks is the projected winner, winning the election to this very open seat. He has defeated the mayor of Indianapolis by a significant margin here tonight. We are seeing that this will be an easy hold after Mike Braun retired. This is our Senate map right now. We are looking at just Indiana having been called. The rest of these seats are undecided as of right now. And in Indiana's governor race, Mike Braun is the projected winner. This is why Mike Braun decided not to run for another term. He instead decided to run for governor and is winning right now in a landslide of over 20 points over Thomas McDermott, the 2022 senatorial candidate. This is the governor's map. Indiana, again, the only state that has been called thus far. It is now 7 p.m. and we have poll closings in Florida, New Hampshire, Vermont, and Virginia. In Vermont's Senate race, Bernie Sanders, the independent, has won another term to the United States Senate, his fourth term overall. Right now he's defeating Christina Nolan in a landslide. And in Florida, it is too early to call. 15% of the vote reporting. Florida counts very fast. Boring Republican establishment politician Rick Scott has a lead over Stephanie Murphy, the former U.S. representative. In Virginia's Senate race, it is too early to call. Governor Glenn Youngkin has a large lead over incumbent Tim Kaine right now, but these are very early votes and they are coming from the rural areas. This is the map thus far, with Vermont shaded in as Democratic. Even though Sanders is an independent, he's basically a Democrat, so we're saying that's Democrat. And then Indiana is, of course, Republican. In Vermont's governor election, Phil Scott is the projected winner, winning another term. He has defeated Attorney General, I believe, T.J. Donovan, by a huge margin in this state. He's very, very popular. In New Hampshire's governor race, Chris Sununu is the projected winner. He has won in a landslide again, a greater landslide than last time, although we still have plenty of votes out there to be counted. With 8% reporting, we can project he will defeat his opponent, Susie, I believe is how you say it. And this is the governor's map right now, with Republicans having won 3 of the governorships of the 11 up for election tonight. It is now 7:30 p.m. and we have poll closings out of North Carolina, Ohio, and West Virginia. Some key races coming up. In Ohio's Senate race, it is too early to call right now, with 6% of the vote reporting. Sherrod Brown has a massive lead over Matt Dolan, but this is the very early city vote coming in thus far, so we can't make a call for this one yet. And in West Virginia, too early to call. Very important race here. Alex Mooney has a huge lead over Joe Manchin, but largely these are the rurals coming in thus far. Some of the more city areas have yet to report. If there are any cities in West Virginia, that is. But Mooney definitely does lead over Manchin right now. It'll be interesting to see if Manchin can keep his seat. In Florida, it is too early to call, with 55% reporting. Florida continues to count their votes really quickly. Rick Scott, the boring establishment Republican, still has a lead over Stephanie Murphy, the former U.S. representative. In Virginia's Senate race, it is too close to call, with 38% reporting. Glenn Youngkin's lead is dwindled. We don't expect Youngkin to be able to win this, but we expect him to do well for a Republican in a state that has trended largely to the left over the past several years. This is the Senate map thus. We are looking at Republicans just holding Indiana and Democrats holding Vermont. In West Virginia's governor race, J.B. McCuskey is the projected winner. He has succeeded Jim Justice as the governor of West Virginia, defeating Richard Ojeda. And in North Carolina's governor race, it is too early to call thus far. Too early to call with 5% of the vote reporting. Attorney General Josh Stein has a lead over Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson. This seat would be a flip if Mark Robinson won. Currently, he does not appear to be doing so. This is the map thus far for the governors. Republicans have won all 4 of the projections tonight. It is now 8 p.m. and we have poll closings in Connecticut, Delaware, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, North Dakota, Mississippi, Missouri, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, Tennessee, and Texas. In Connecticut's Senate race, Chris Murphy is the projected winner, defeating George Logan and winning another term. In Delaware's Senate race, Tom Carper is the projected winner. He has defeated his opponent Lee Murphy. In Maine Senate race, Angus King is the projected winner. This is a very easy call to make as there's a lot of vote splitting going on here. King is the independent. He has won re-election to another term over Sarah Gideon and Bruce Poliquin. In Maryland's Senate race, Ben Cardin is the projected winner, winning yet another term. He has defeated his opponent Ficker, who I can't remember how to say what his first name is, so excuse that. And in Massachusetts, Elizabeth Warren is the projected winner. The infamous senator has won yet again, defeating Chris Doughty, the 2022 gubernatorial candidate, by a large margin. And North Dakota Senate race, Kevin Cramer is the projected winner, defeating, I believe, Christina Hedger. And in Mississippi Senate race, Roger Wicker is the projected winner, winning another term, his 3rd term this far, defeating former Attorney General Jim Hood. And in Missouri's Senate race, Josh Hawley is the projected winner, defeating Lucas Kunce by a significant margin. In Rhode Island, Sheldon Whitehouse is the projected winner, winning another term, defeating Ashley Callis, the 2022 gubernatorial nominee, who was defeated by Dan McKee. And in Tennessee's Senate race, Marsha Blackburn has been re-elected to another term by a large margin over J.B. Smiley Jr. This is no surprise. And in Michigan's Senate race, it is too early to call between Debbie Stabenow and James Craig. Stabenow has a large lead thus far. This is the early vote, however, anything can happen in this one. And New Jersey's Senate race, it is too early to call New Jersey. You might say, well, that's a blue state, but no, Bob Menendez is so utterly hated and continues to have scandals that it's actually looking like he might have an opportunity at losing tonight. But who really knows yet? This is too early to call. In Pennsylvania, it is too early to call. Bob Casey Jr. has a massive lead over David McCormick. However, this is all the early city vote coming in, so we will have to see how this narrows up. In Texas, it is too early to call. Ted Cruz has a lead over Julian Castro, the 2020 presidential candidate who is running against him. And now we have key race projections to make. These are big. In Florida's Senate race, boring establishment Republican Rick Scott has won another term, defeating Stephanie Murphy by a significant margin. This breaks his streak of winning by a point or less in pretty much all the races he's been in. He's finally actually won by a decent margin, showing that he, too, has been carried by Florida's large shift to the right. In Virginia, Tim Kaine is the projected winner, winning another term. This time, however, it's looking to be closer with 73% reporting. Tim Kaine has defeated Glenn Youngkin by a narrow margin of only about 5 percentage points. The remaining vote is expected to go a little bit in Kaine's favor, so this will probably be more like a 6-point or 7-point margin, possibly once it is over, but Glenn Youngkin put up a good fight in this one. In Ohio Senate race, it is too close to call with 34% of the vote reporting. Sherrod Brown leads Matt Dolan still. In West Virginia, too close to call with 38% of the vote reporting. Alex Mooney still leads Joe Manchin. This is the map right now. In Delaware's governor race, Bethany Hall Long is the projected winner. She has won in this race. In Missouri's governor race, Mike Kehoe is the projected winner, defeating Trudy Bush Valentine. In North Dakota's governor race, Doug Burgum is the projected winner. He has won easily over Heidi Heitkamp. And in North Carolina, it is too close to call between Josh Stein and Mark Robinson. Mark Robinson catching up to Stein here. This is the map right now with our wins in Delaware, Missouri, and North Dakota. Republicans are doing very well tonight. It is now 9 p.m. and we have poll closings out of Arizona, Minnesota, Nebraska, New Mexico, New York, Wisconsin, and Wyoming. In Minnesota's Senate race, Amy Klobuchar has been reelected to another term, defeating Scott Jensen. She is ever popular in the state. In Nebraska's Senate race, Deb Fischer has been reelected to another term. Not really a surprise. This is very important for her, however, as she defeats her opponent Shelton by a huge amount. In Nebraska's special election, Pete Ricketts is the projected winner. This is Ben Sass's seat, but after he resigned, Pete Ricketts was appointed to replace him. He's underperforming his Senate colleague by a little bit, but still winning by a significant margin. In New York Senate race, Kirsten Gillibrand, the projected winner tonight, defeating Joe Pinion, who this is the second time he's run. He decided he just had to give it another go, so he gave it another go. And Wyoming Senate race, John Barrasso is the projected winner, defeating Teresa Livingston, the gubernatorial candidate in 2022, by a massive, massive amount. In Arizona, it is too early to call between Ruben Gallego and Andy Biggs. Gallego has a large lead over Biggs right now. Gallego did primary out Kirsten Sinema in a race that was heavily anticipated to go his way, and he has succeeded in primarying her out. Now he simply has to win this seat, and he will have held it for his party. In New Mexico, it is too early to call. Mark Ronchetti giving it another go at the Senate race, this time for the Class 1 Senate seat out of New Mexico. He's currently trailing Martin Heinrich. In Wisconsin, it is too early to call with 5% of the vote reporting. Tammy Baldwin leads over Mike Gallagher. In Michigan, too close to call with 32% of the vote reporting. Debbie Stabenow still leads James Craig. In New Jersey, it is too early to call between Bob Menendez and his opponent Dan Cruz. In Pennsylvania, too close to call between Bob Casey Jr. and David McCormick, who has caught up a lot since we looked at this race last. In Texas, it is too close to call. That should say too close to call, not too early to call. Ted Cruz still leading over Julian Castro. In Ohio's Senate race, it is too close to call with 61% of the vote reporting. This is really looking like anyone's game, although it looks like Brown might have a slight edge. But who really knows? This is anyone's game here tonight. In West Virginia, too close to call with 67% of the vote reporting. It's looking more and more like Joe Manchin's going to go down tonight. This is the Senate map thus far. In North Carolina's governor race, still too close to call with 64% of the vote reporting. Josh Stein has a very narrow lead over Mark Robinson. It is now 10 p.m. and we have poll closings out of Montana, Nevada, and Utah. In Utah's Senate race, Sean Reyes, or however the heck you say that, has won this election after primarying out Mitt Romney. He was the challenge from the right. He succeeded in primarying out Mitt Romney, who is running for a second term. he has defeated Jenny Wilson yet again. In Nevada's Senate race, it is too close to call. Rick Harrison, the Rick Harrison, has a large lead over incumbent Jackie Rosen thus far in a state that is shifting to the right. In Montana's Senate race, it is too close to call. Horrible candidate Ryan Zink trails Jon Tester by a lot right now, but this is some of the more blue counties that are reporting thus far. We now have key race projections to make. And that is out of New Jersey, where Bob Menendez has won another term. He could have gone down tonight, and it's looking like he's going to hold on, but by less than 10 points likely by the end of the day, and that's a significant underperformance of the last time he ran, as well as how Joe Biden is currently doing in the state of New Jersey. Dan Cruz doing very well for a Republican in the state. In Pennsylvania's Senate election, Bob Casey Jr. is the projected winner. He is a total electoral juggernaut. He always wins somehow. He always wins by a lot. He's winning by around 14 points right now. And in West Virginia, we were all waiting for me to make this call, and I finally made it. Alex Mooney is the projected winner, gaining this seat, defeating incumbent Senator Joe Manchin by about 4.1%, with 99% of the vote reporting thus far. In Arizona, it is too close to call between Ruben Gallego and Andy Biggs. Gallego still leads Biggs. In New Mexico, too close to call between Martin Heinrich and Mark Ronchetti. In Wisconsin, too close to call between Tammy Baldwin and Mike Gallagher. In Michigan, too close to call between Debbie Stabenow and James Craig, although it looks like Stabenow might be running away with this race. We'll just have to wait and find out. In Texas's Senate race, it is too close to call between Ted Cruz and Julian Castro. What's wrong with me? He's leading by around 5 points right now. He actually could go down tonight. I mean, it's looking like it's favoring him, but we don't take anything for granted here at the Tornado Sam headquarters. So, in Ohio, it is too close to call, with 93% of the vote reporting still too close to call. We cannot call this race. Sherrod Brown still leads over Matt Dolan, but this is anyone's game. Literally anyone could win this race now. This is the Senate map thus far. And then out of Montana's governor race, Greg Gianforte is the projected winner. Greg Gianforte, maybe is how you say it. He's defeated Monica Tranel by a significant margin here tonight. In Utah's governor race, Spencer Cox is the projected winner, defeating this guy by the last name of Fellow, who I can't remember now, by a huge margin of over 30 points. And now we have key race projections to make. Let's see what we got. Out of North Carolina's governor race, Mark Robinson is the projected winner, gaining this seat for the Republican Party. North Carolina will finally get its Republican governor back. Mark Robinson has defeated Josh Stein by about 3 percentage points, with 99% of the vote reporting here. This is the map then, with North Carolina being the only flip tonight. And it is now 11 p.m. and we have poll closings out of California and Washington. Out of Washington's Senate race, Maria Cantwell is the projected winner. She is defeating Lauren Culp by a significant margin. In California's Senate race, it is too early to call, with 5% of the vote reporting. Adam Schiff is currently leading Katie Porter in the seat that is being vacated by retiring incumbent Dianne Feinstein, who is 91 and really needed to retire, and she was smart enough to do so. We have key race projections now to make. In Michigan's Senate race, Debbie Stabenow is the projected winner. This was going to hopefully be a flip for Republicans, but nope, it just didn't happen. Debbie Stabenow has defeated James Craig by over 5 percentage points. In Texas, Ted Cruz is the projected winner. He's unpopular, but he still pulled it off in the end by about 3 points, a little bit better than the last time when he defeated Beto O'Rourke by 2.6. In Ohio Senate race, Matt Dolan is the projected winner, gaining this seat. This is a huge one. Sherrod Brown finally got knocked off after years of being in the Senate. He finally kicked the bucket, politically speaking. Not literally. Matt Dolan has defeated Sherrod Brown by 0.1%. A very, very close race here tonight, but we can confirm it is true because we have 100% of all votes reporting, and it just doesn't appear that Brown is going to win this. And that means that the Senate control goes to the Republican Party. These are the unofficial results thus far, but we can project that they will gain the Senate because they have picked up these 2 seats. In Nevada, too close to call with 36% of the vote reporting. Jackie Rosen catching up on Rick Harrison. In Montana, too close to call with 38% reporting. Ryan Zink catching up to John Tester. In Arizona, too close to call with 67% reporting. Andy Biggs catching up on Ruben Gallego. In New Mexico, too close to call with 70% of the vote reporting. Mark Ronchetti catching up on Martin Heinrich. In Wisconsin, it is too close to call between Tammy Baldwin and Mike Gallagher. This is the Senate map right now. We have, let's see, we have 5 uncalled races and 1 race where the polls have not yet closed. In Washington's governor race, Jay Inslee is the projected winner, winning a 4th term. When is this guy going to stop running? Not yet, it appears. He is winning right now by a significant margin. And this is the final governor's map for the 2024 cycle, with Republicans having made that 1 gain in North Carolina. And this is the full governor's map. As we can see, Republicans will have, looks like 28 seats, and Democrats will have 22 seats. It is now 2 p.m. and we have poll closings out of Hawaii. In Hawaii, Macy Hirono is the projected winner, winning yet again over Bob McDermott, who couldn't resist another run for the Senate, even though he lost. And now we have key race projections to make. And that is out of Arizona, where Ruben Gallego has held the seat for his party. This is pretty big. He has defeated Andy Biggs by a pretty narrow margin, less than 2 percentage points, but still we can project that Biggs cannot win this race. And out of New Mexico's race, Martin Heinrich is the projected winner. We expected him to hold this seat, but we knew that Mark Ronchetti was the juggernaut. We were going to abstain from calling this race for quite a while. Heinrich has defeated Ronchetti by around, it looks like around 7 percentage points. In Wisconsin's Senate race, Tammy Baldwin is the projected winner. She has won another term despite the Republicans putting up the best candidate they could in Mike Gallagher. It just didn't pan out. She has won by a little bit less than 1%. In California, too close to call between Adam Schiff and Katie Porter. We have called this race for Democrats, but we just don't know which one, so bear with us. Out of Nevada's Senate race, it is too close to call with 65% of the vote reporting. Rick Harrison still leading over Jackie Rosen. In Montana, too close to call with 72% of the vote reporting. Ryan Zink still trailing John Tester. And this is the Senate map, those 2 final races left to be called. It is now 1 a.m. And out of Nevada, we have an apparent winner. We can't exactly confirm this because there very well may be a recount, but it looks like Rick Harrison has just barely gained this seat for the Republican Party. He's defeated Jackie Rosen, the incumbent, by 0.08% with 100% of votes reporting. This is a little bit less than 1,000 vote margin here. So really, this is, I think it's Harrison, but we can't completely confirm that yet due to the fact that there will likely be a recount, but he is the apparent winner tonight. And it doesn't really matter anyway, because Republicans already won the Senate, so. In Montana's Senate race, Jon Tester is the projected winner. Republicans could have knocked him off if they had put up a better candidate, but no, Brian Zink is the worst candidate possible. In California's Senate race, Adam Schiff is the projected winner, succeeding retiring incumbent Dianne Feinstein and defeating fellow Representative Katie Porter by around 13 percentage points. And these are the final results for the Senate. The Republicans will win. They have won with 52 Senate seats to the Democrats' 48 seats. And that's all for this video. Let me know what you think about this one. I tried to be creative. I used primarily what Wikipedia said, like who's a potential candidate, who's expressed interest. I tried to be realistic with it, but I also just tried to, part of it was just me recycling names, but, we gotta do what we gotta do. So, anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of this. Bye.